Hello, YouTube. This is William. I get asked a lot about my heat treating process and how do I grind my knives and a lot of things that it's taken me years and years of learning on my own. And forgive me if I sound funny because I have a serious sinus infection. I just really don't feel well. But anyway, and besides that, yesterday I ground the tips of my fingers off on um, my grinder. Past 2 days has not been good. The joys of small business. When you're the one person that's in the business, it's work goes on whether you feel like it or not. That's one of the drawbacks. But anyway, back to the subject. um, the reason I don't give out the heat treat is because heat treat depends on so many things that may not be the same for that individual's area. My equipment is different from yours. My climate is different from yours. So there's a lot of things that goes into it. The best thing that I can recommend is getting a formula, a tried formula, and just playing with it, tweaking it here and there, and testing it. That's how I learned. That's the best way. That's the best teacher is experience. You can get tips and tricks from other people, but it doesn't take it doesn't take the place of getting out there, getting your hands dirty. You learn so much more by doing it yourself. So my recommendation is to actually get a formula from Hudson Tools, CPM.com. Those areas that is tried and true, and just kind of playing with it and see what works best for your temperature and your climate and your equipment, because a lot of things play into that. Temperature, humidity, just all kinds of things, and your equipment may not be calibrated like mine is. So if I give you a formula and it doesn't work, then that means I've got an issue with people saying, well, William's formula doesn't work, so don't buy his tools. You see what I'm saying? So anyway, that's the reason I do not give out recommendations for heat treat. Okay. Now, as far as my grinds, that is something that I have worked hard and diligently on. Long hours, lots of buckets of steel, very expensive um, trial and error. And I can't afford to give out how I do that. Okay. It's just not good business. Um, once you learn something, it's not hard. So the best thing I can say is to get in the shop and play. Just take different grinds and just work at it. Now, they have asked me, do I use jigs? Do I do it freehand? I do it both. I do freehand on some of it, and I do jigs on other parts of it. So it's not a matter of yes or no. It's a matter of trying all things and find out what works. So get in the shop and just try it. That's the best thing I can say. Um, and eventually you'll get your own style. You get your own grinds. You don't need to try someone else's. You may have a better way of doing it. You may even have a grind that's better than what I've come up with. So don't sell yourself short. Okay? So anyway, I just want to do a quick video and explain that because I get that question at least 2 or 3 times a week. Why don't you show us how you do this? Why don't you show us how you, or tell us how you heat treat and things like that? Well, it takes all the fun out of your learning if somebody just does dictate to you how to do things. You learn so much more by trying it yourself, and I would not want to take that away from you. All right, till the next one. You guys get out in the woods, get in the backyard, whittle on a stick, get in the shop, grind that steel. Take cheap steel. Take just steel that you buy at Home Depot and learn the grinds. Learn how to grind. That's the best thing I can explain, or best advice I can give. So, don't forget those Band-Aids, and you're going to need a lot of steel to make those knives. We'll catch you again soon.